Have you ever opened your mouth to speak in English and then nothing came out? Your brain just went completely blank, even though you know the words, even though you've practiced, even though 5 minutes ago in your head you said it perfectly. And now there's just silence, and everyone's looking at you, and your face feels hot, and you want to disappear. I know that feeling. I know it so well. Welcome to Fluent English Cafe. I'm Anna, and before we jump in, I have to tell you, Tony won't be joining us today. He's actually at a teaching workshop in Toronto this week, learning some new methods for helping English learners speak more confidently. So it's just you and me. And honestly, I think this topic is perfect for a solo episode, because when I used to freeze in English, I felt completely alone, like I was the only person in the world who couldn't get the words out. But you're not alone. And today, we're going to fix this. Max is here with me, by the way. He's lying under the table, probably wondering why I'm talking so much. He's been with me through every English struggle I've ever had. He's seen me practice presentations to myself. He's seen me cry after meetings where I couldn't speak. He doesn't judge. He just puts his head on my foot and stays there. All right, let's talk about language anxiety. That horrible feeling when you want to speak English, but your body physically won't let you. Your heart races, your mind goes blank, your hands get sweaty, and all you can think is, everyone's going to judge me. They're going to think my English is bad. They're going to think I don't belong here. If that sounds familiar, I need you to hear something really important. You are not broken or bad at English. You're just experiencing something that almost every language learner goes through, even the ones who now speak fluently, even me, even Tony, even people who've been speaking English for 20 years. The freezing feeling is not about your English level. It's about your brain getting overwhelmed. The good news is, you can train your brain to handle it. By the end of this episode, I'm going to give you 3 strategies that actually work. Not theory, not just be confident, real techniques you can use the next time you feel yourself freezing. If you want practical English advice that actually helps, subscribe right now. We release episodes like this every week. All right, let's get into it. Strategy number 1. Stop fighting the feeling. Here's what most people do when they feel anxious about speaking English. They try to make the anxiety go away. They tell themselves, don't be nervous, calm down, relax, just breathe. But here's the problem. When you try to fight anxiety, it gets worse. I learned this the hard way. For years, I would sit in meetings telling myself, don't be nervous, don't be nervous, don't be nervous. And by the time it was my turn to speak, I was a complete mess. Then I learned something that changed everything. Imagine someone tells you, don't think about a pink elephant. What happens? You immediately think about a pink elephant, right? You can see it, big and pink and ridiculous. The same thing happens with anxiety. When you tell yourself, don't be nervous, your brain hears nervous and focuses on it even more. So what should you do instead? Accept it, and then reframe it. Here's what I mean. The physical feeling of anxiety, your heart beating fast, your hands getting sweaty, your mind going alert, that feeling is almost identical to excitement. Your body literally cannot tell the difference between I'm nervous and I'm excited. The sensations are exactly the same. So instead of fighting the feeling, you rename it. The next time you're about to speak English and you feel that nervous energy, say to yourself, I'm excited. This is exciting. I get to show them what I know. I get to share something valuable. Same physical feeling, racing heart, sweaty hands, alert mind, but different meaning. And you know what? The presentation went great. Not because the anxiety disappeared, but because I stopped treating it like the enemy. So that's strategy 1. Don't fight the feeling. Rename it. I'm not nervous. I'm excited. Strategy number 2. Build your safety phrases. Okay, here's something that changed everything for me. Most of the time when we freeze in English, it's because we're trying to create the perfect sentence in our head before we speak. We think, okay, I need to say this perfectly. Subject, verb, object, make sure the grammar is right, make sure the pronunciation is perfect, make sure I don't sound stupid. And while we're doing all of that mental work, the conversation moves on without us. And then we feel even more anxious, and then we freeze even more. It's a horrible cycle. So here's what you do instead. You use what I call safety phrases. Safety phrases are simple expressions that buy you time while your brain catches up. For example, that's a really good question. Let me think about that for a second. How do I explain this? You know what I mean? These are not filler words. They're not and These are professional, natural phrases that native speakers use all the time. When someone asks you a question and you don't know how to answer immediately, you don't have to panic. You don't have to say something perfect right away. You just say, "That's a good question. Let me think." Now you have 3 or 4 seconds. Your brain can relax. The pressure is gone because you've already said something. And during those 3 seconds, the answer usually comes. I use this all the time, even in my native language. Sometimes you just need a moment. Here are 5 safety phrases you can memorize right now. 1. That's a good question. 2. Let me think about that. 3. How do I put this? 4. You know what? I think. 5. Can you give me a second? Write these down. Practice them. Make them automatic. The next time you're in a conversation and you feel yourself freezing, use one of these phrases. It'll give your brain the time it needs to relax and find the right words. And here's the beautiful thing. When you use these phrases, people don't think, oh, their English is bad. They think, oh, they're really thinking about my question. It actually makes you look more thoughtful. Strategy number 3. Slow down on purpose. This one is huge, and it's the opposite of what most people think. Most learners think that fluent speakers talk fast, so they try to speak English as quickly as possible. They think speed equals fluency. But that's not what fluency is. Fluent speakers don't talk fast. They talk smoothly. And there's a big difference. When you try to speak too fast, your brain has to do too many things at once. Choose words, build sentences, pronounce correctly, monitor grammar. That's a lot. That's like trying to juggle while running. And when your brain gets overloaded, it freezes. It just stops because it's trying to do too much. So here's what I want you to do instead. Slow down on purpose. I'm serious. Before you answer a question, pause for 2 full seconds. Breathe. Think. Then speak. Those 2 seconds give your brain time to organize the sentence, and when you finally speak, the words come out more naturally, more smoothly, more fluently. And here's the interesting part. When you pause before speaking, people don't think you're slow. They don't think your English is bad. They think you're thoughtful. They think you're considering your answer carefully. They think you're someone worth listening to. Let me show you the difference. Bad version. I think maybe we should focus on the main thing. Good version. I think we should focus on the main issue first. See the difference? The second one has a pause at the beginning, but the sentence itself is clear and confident. There's no and there's just a thoughtful pause and then a clear statement. Native speakers pause all the time. They say things like, well, or let me see, or, they take their time. So give yourself permission to slow down. Speak at a pace that feels comfortable for you. Clear and slow is always better than fast and messy. All right, let's recap what we covered today. Strategy 1. Stop fighting the anxiety. Rename it. Tell yourself, I'm excited, instead of I'm nervous. Strategy 2. Build your safety phrases. Memorize simple expressions that buy you time, like, that's a good question, or let me think about that. Strategy 3. Slow down on purpose. Pause before you speak. Give your brain time to organize the sentence. These 3 strategies work. I use them. Tony uses them. Our students use them. And the more you practice them, the less you'll freeze when you speak English. But here's the thing. You have to actually practice them. Reading about them isn't enough. Listening to this episode isn't enough. You have to try them. So here's my challenge for you. This week, pick one of these strategies, just one, and actually use it. Maybe you reframe your anxiety before a meeting. Maybe you use a safety phrase in a conversation. Maybe you pause for 2 seconds before answering a question. Just pick one. Try it, and then come back here and tell me how it went. Because I want to know. I read every single comment. Max watches me read them. He's very invested. Seriously, drop a comment and tell me, which strategy are you going to try? And if you've already experienced freezing in English, tell me your story. What happened? How did it feel? Let's talk about it. When I first started speaking English at work, I used to come home and cry. Not because my English was bad, but because I felt so invisible, so alone. Like everyone else belonged and I didn't. And Max would just lie next to me with his head on my foot and wait. He didn't need me to speak perfectly. He just needed me to be there. That's how I want you to feel about yourself. You don't need to speak perfectly to belong. You just need to keep showing up. Keep trying. Keep practicing. The freezing feeling gets better, I promise. It doesn't disappear completely. I still get nervous before big meetings, but it gets so much easier to manage. If this episode helped you, subscribe to Fluent English Cafe. We're here every week with practical advice that actually works. Tony will be back next week. He's bringing something special from that workshop in Toronto. We're going to talk about how to stop translating in your head. That's going to be a good one. Thanks for listening. I'm Anna. And Max says bye too. See you next time. And remember, you're not nervous, you're excited.